Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. Sorry, this guy's got great energy. I wanted to show him because it was exactly what I was saying about Apple TV about a week ago that, is it a gaming console? He's somehow started out talking about the gaming console. Now he's unwrapping a TV. He's just, totally got high energy. And then I'm going to go get the charger to plug in this phone, and then I might try to see what new games on Stadia.
Yes. Hey, there you go. And look, it also has a really great remote. Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, Disney Plus, Tubi, and Peacock already pre-configured. I turned off the ring light so you can see what a beautiful TV. All right. So once again, this is the Hisense U8 4K 55-inch TV, and it's no BS. Like me. I appreciate the folks at Hisense giving me this lovely TV because I was like, hey, well, let me buy the new Apple TV, unbox it, because, that's what I do. But I really want to talk about, is this a sleeper console? Because, listen, the mobile gaming market, and I will consider this mobile from now, and I'll explain why, is the biggest market in the world. Whether we like it or not, whether we play mobile gaming games, or not, it is the biggest market out there. Even if you're a PC gamer, you may not like mobile games. I hear you. I have all the latest consoles too. I have a PC as well. I get you. But it's a seductive market. And if you can say, and that's what Apple's proposition, hey, playing this game with a subscription on your phone, on your tablet, on your MacBook, we don't care. Hey, you want to get home and get your nice 55-inch set from Hisense? Fine. Put down the game on your phone, it'll sync automatically here, and you can pick up where you left off. That's their proposition for, again, and other people are doing, you have Stadia, you have Xbox cloud gaming. There's a new one from PC, I forgot what, Steam. Trying to come out with a mobile gaming one. May not be as sync as well, but maybe it might. You might have like a Switch type of thing that you play here, and then you go on your PC and you finish the game there. You have the Switch as well, which is really a mobile gaming console. So really, mobile gaming isn't going anywhere. So when I look at this little box, I think TV box, right? Okay, how is this a gaming? It's so small. How is it a gaming console? Well, it actually packs a punch. It has a really good processor in there. Apple knows how to fine-tune their things to make things work, and like the games look incredible. They have a subscription service called Apple Arcade. I think as a recording of this video, 180 games. This is recorded before WWDC, so it's very possible that they release more games after that. But this little box packs a punch. And by the way, if you want to know, this is the new remote. I have 4 Apple TVs around the house. Instead of buying the new Apple TV for each one of them, I just bought the remote, which is $59.99, which is a much better value. A lot of people complain about the buttons here. They wish this button was here, the play button was down there. I hear you, but they did it. My only complaint, it just sounds a little loud when you click. Like the other one was just much quieter. Like I don't know, I'm getting used to it, but like you can just hear all of that. It's like, stop that! Also, if you're new to Apple TVs and you don't have another box that it's replacing, it does not come with an HDMI cable, so make sure you supply your own high-speed HDMI cable. Why do they do that? And of course, if you want to, I think he's got, it has lightning to regular USB, so hook it into your.
I think that's Stadia hooked up. Does he have Stadia hooked up? Okay.
So downloaded, including the games that I have downloaded so far. So I'm gonna go ahead in settings. I'm gonna set up a controller. I'm actually gonna try and set up the PS5. This is my this is a custom PS5 controller that I had made since I did unboxing on it on another network. The controller is connected, and now, okay. All right, we're gonna take a look at the Apple TV. I'm still here. Hi, I'm just really black, and so I just want you to get the best picture that you can. This camera.
So I'm going to try this with the Stadia controller. The second Stadia controller I have.
That looks decent. Okay. You see? So like I don't know if this is using Apple Metal. Like they're new, but like this looks good. Right? Look, you got NBA 2K Arcade Edition. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Now I'm actually curious what this is.
How much does that cost?
Petty Pursuit, Sonic Racing, which I think I have downloaded. Listen, I know it's a mobile game. I'm not stupid. You can play this on your phone. But, hey, it looks good. Thank you. Yeah! Woo woo! Also, one of the coolest things about Apple Arcade is that it doesn't have any microtransactions or anything like that. It's subscription-based, you pay $5 a month. So I like that. Let's keep looking at some of the other games. Oregon Trail, Star Trek Legends.
trying to see what else. See, they got
I actually signed up for this, but I didn't do
category
the
selection,
controller and
adventure,
everything.
Casual, family, puzzle, racing, role playing. Let's see. I want to go on role playing to see what are the different ones. I don't know if you've seen or heard of any of these. Oceanhorn, I heard was a really good one. I actually played a little bit of that. Really good. But yeah, they have some games. There's some long games in here, and they have some okay, let's say more strategy games.
I'm a little worried. You know what? I'm going to use the
They
blue
have some
controller.
games. Like there might not be everything that you would like, but I suspect Apple is up to something here. This may not be the Apple TV that will have the processing speed to kill or match an Xbox Series X or even an S, but I think it's pretty close. I mean, look at the casual here. I thought I saw a Pac-Man game in here. So, oh yeah, Pac-Man Party Royale, which is exclusive, I believe. At least it was to this, and I think I have that downloaded. Yeah, I want to try that NBA game. You know what? It looks really good. I'm not just saying, I ain't getting paid for this part. I'm just saying. Wow. I mean, yeah, it is no Xbox Series X version, but all right, let's see how this works here. All right, controls feel good. I'm just saying. It looks like you can play this on your phone, and this is the same version. It's just optimized for the TV. Okay, as you see, I don't play any defense. I just want to see if I can get one more. Come on, let's get this.
He's playing with LeBron.
Okay, watch this.
Wow, that's a nice layup.
You know what, guys, listen. I didn't know. I had never downloaded that game before. Real talk, I've never played it on my phone. I'm sure because the smaller screen's gonna look really, really good on the phone, but this is a 55-inch 4K TV, and it looks really good. Again, no, it's no PS5 version. No, it's no Xbox Series X version. But, again, you pay $5 a month. You tell some parent, for $5 a month, your kid can get all these games that are curated for those sports, action, adventure. And I'm just saying, does this become a console in an average person's house? Maybe not your house, but an average person's house. I have to say yes. I believe this Apple TV was a half step. They added some things. They added the HDMI 2.1, but you can't get 120 hertz just yet, but it's coming. The chip seems fast enough to handle really good games. But if they come out with a new one, I don't know if it's the M1 chip, M2, whatever, optimized TV, can that one be the one? I think this one could play a lot of great games for sure. But can that next one be the one? Or is this one the one? Can you all tell me in the comments? Do you use Apple Arcade? Even if you don't, if you know somebody who does, I'm just curious. Do you see this being an average person's console? If you already pay $179 or however much this was for a TV box anyway, if you're already doing it, and just for another $5 more a month, or you could download games. You don't have to use Apple Arcade. For pennies, seems like a day, you can have almost or really close to console quality game. I would say better than Switch right now. It looks like. Anyway, you all tell me in the comments below. I'm curious. I'm fascinated. That NBA game fascinated me because I wasn't ready for that. So let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. Again, shout out to Hisense. I love my new TV. I'm probably going to mount it, but I do like their stands. This stand is really good. I'm probably going to mount it in my bedroom and use it there. We'll see. But if I do, I'll post a picture on my Instagram at Lamar Wilson. So thanks so much for watching, and answer my question, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye!
All right, so I probably shouldn't have left that ad. That was the Xbox ad. Yeah, I mean, for me, can you afford $175, $500, $1,000? $1,000 for a TV, $500 for a game console. a streaming platform, $30 to $180, and then subscription on top of that. The short answer is no, you can't. But depending on the type of job you have or your life situation, you try to buy one or two or the other. I know when I had my daughter here, and I was staying with her, she was staying with me, and she wanted to get these toys. She wanted to get LOL dolls. And so LOL doll were, anywhere from $5 to $15 basically. And so what I did is I ate a lot of ground beef. And so I would buy ground beef on discount or whatnot, and I made tacos, some shredded cheese, a tortilla, and some ground beef with some seasoning. And that's basically what I did. There was one gift that we had to get because, but that's basically what I tried to do. I knew it wasn't going to last forever, but at the different points in my life, right, I moved to New York City and I got a job. Rent was really expensive, and I'll just watch this girl, Jessica Ascenso, and she's doing the dolls in the water. This is 9 months. This is what my daughter and I did on the weekends, basically. She would come over and she'd say, I want a cold bucket of water, and I'd get a bowl out, and then we'd do the dolls that would change color. And so she's an adult, which is good.
So some of my friends send you a video that these
And so basically that's what we do. And so, so basically that's sort of what we would do. And a couple of these items would be a little bit more expensive. And so, but when I got a job, I moved to New York, right? I tried to pay off my credit card bills every month. And I got stuck in sort of that weird cycle of trying to track money on a secondary or third-party app instead of just looking at the bank account or the credit card statements. Eventually, I filed bankruptcy in 2016. I got married and we had a daughter, and I had basically had trouble with every job and got fired or whatever. Said I was going to quit, then they say they fire you, or you have to go on vacation or whatever. And so bankruptcy in 2016, and then starting basically in 2017, when my wife and I got separated, I sort of got money from my mom. And then my mom basically took over rent. And then from that point and earlier, I had trouble paying my phone bill. So I could go get a phone, on the new plan. But once that bill went up over $150, $250 a month, I basically couldn't pay that bill. And so, so that was difficult. But through those years, right, I would try to buy a TV. I would try to buy a computer because I knew that the productivity value of, say, a laptop or an iMac or something would allow me to do a lot more in sort of the time that I was home than just simply trying to use my phone. The phones now are a lot faster and they can do more things. But initially, right, you couldn't really get DocuSign on a phone, or you couldn't, look at a PDF document or print something out, or, now the printer, you don't need it as much. But you used to have a printer because you'd have to print something out and sign it or send it somewhere, or, print out some tickets, right? Like, remember early tickets, Fandango, if you were going to go see a movie, you would have to buy the tickets on the online and then print them out and then take them to the event and they'd scan them, right? The barcode. You'd print the barcode and then you'd scan them. So you had to have a printer. You couldn't just show like an iPhone or something and have them scan the iPhone. So all that stuff sort of mattered. So you basically made purchases of what you could, but I didn't have a family, right? I didn't have like a wife and daughter when I lived in New York. I tried to maybe go out and get a few beers or go to dinner once in a while. But I worked a lot, and I had the idea that the future was going to be better. But it didn't always seem like that financially. Even now today, right? I have less money per week probably than I ever had, with the exception of the zero money, right? If you have no money at all and you're trying to figure out how to make money from nothing, that's different than now. Because obviously I'm on disability, it just doesn't really cover everything. And so... And so I don't really have that perception anymore, right? Like I wake up and instead of saying, oh, I'm going to go to work late because I'm so tired and then have to worry about keeping my job, right? Or I got to go to bed now, or I got to check email all throughout times of the day, or I have a work device that I have to check email on. All that is sort of in the past. And so I don't really have that conception anymore about, you know, having sort of an average job. So my advice based on that is need for base, need for efficiency, and single device use. And that would be my advice, right? Like if you need a 6-inch saucepan, right? Can you get one with a lid so things can heat up faster if you want to use the lid or not, right? You know, the saucepan is here and the saucepan's here. One of them looks like it's not going to last more than a year. The other one looks like it's going to last more than a year, but the other one is like 5 times as much. But this one has a lid. So if it's cold in the apartment, you know, you got the window open or it's just cold, the heat is low in the apartment, and your item isn't going to cook as fast, or you want to saute some spinach or some onions or something, or vegetables, right? Or you want to cook a soup, right? You want to get one with a lid. It's probably not too much more. If you go with the really expensive one, sometimes the lid almost costs as much as the pan anyway, and that's really the high-end stuff that people have. If you go to the really low end, it's going to bend or break or burn your hand, the handle. And so as someone who shops for different things, you want something that's going to be the most efficient. If you want to make soup, you use the same pan. If you want to cook some meat, you cook the same pan or a small pot, you know. And then you want efficiency. Does it have a lid as well? And the same thing with the technology, right? Is there one device, right, that you can use? When I lived in New York, and I had sort of a utility laptop, basically, that was an Apple laptop. I bought cables and hooked it up to the TV so that I could watch what was on my screen on the TV. And you could buy inexpensive cables at the time if you shopped around. And then you could put your movie on your DVD player on your laptop on the TV. And so if you had all these DVDs, and your laptops today usually don't have a DVD. Some of them do, but Apple doesn't have the DVDs anymore. But you basically put the DVD in the Apple laptop. You'd hook the whatever cable into whatever adapter you had up to the TV, and your auxiliary input on the TV, and then you basically watch the movie. And in the early time of trying to do that, you had to use the audio of the Apple item instead of the TV because you didn't have like an HDMI that did both, right? If you did the USB cable or whatever the other video cables were at the time, I don't remember. Not a cable, not a coaxial cable, but like, you know, whatever the connector cables and adapters, whatever. You didn't always get the audio off the laptop that would go to the TV. And so if you wanted to watch like Netflix on your TV, because you had a TV, you would connect your laptop to the TV and then you would listen to the audio on the laptop. So the laptop would be like here, and the cable would go from the laptop to the TV, and then you would watch on the TV, but you'd hear it from here. And so you didn't really mind if you had, you know, not very good speakers in the TV, which would mean you could change, you know, if you were going to buy a TV the next time or whatever. You know, if you moved, the TV didn't work as well, it wasn't clear as a resolution or whatever, you would change your mind. So that's what I mean by utility, right? Some of that stuff has gone away. Apple doesn't have the DVD or Blu-ray players in the laptops anymore. They're thinner, they go to iTunes. Then they seem to get rid of iTunes and they go to the Apple TV. So I tried a lot of this stuff when I had different opportunities. If I got into a relationship and we moved into an apartment together, one of us wasn't paying all the rent. And so whatever our arrangement was, if we paid more rent or less rent, you could both, as a couple, say, well, I'm going to spend more on something else, as opposed to just simply trying to save it and then do something else. I did end up taking a vacation, which was good, but like I said, a $30 cable goes a long way as opposed to a $170 device. But you didn't have Fire TV, you didn't have Google streaming capabilities. You couldn't just take your phone, tap on something, and connect it to the same home network and broadcast it on your TV. You didn't really have that. There were smart TVs like the one I have with VieraCast on the Philips that I have. But even today, it's almost a legacy smart TV. You don't really have any updated apps. It's sort of like, 5 years from now, the Samsung Blu-ray, you don't really have the apps on that item, right? Even the Sony Blu-ray that I have, right? They don't really build in the apps maybe that you have on the Apple TV or the Amazon Fire. And so previously, right, what you were pretty much doing is you would need a laptop that could power the apps, and then you would need some way to cast it to your screen, your TV, or larger monitor, whatever you decided to buy. And most of the time, the fastest, best way was with a cable, but you had to walk around it and stuff like that, and you wouldn't get audio out of the TV. So you basically did the best you could with the technology, trying to fit all the different components together. And it's sort of the same thing. I mean, people, maybe that guy's a little older than me. Maybe it was the home stereo. You get one speaker from your buddy. Your other buddy has one speaker because the second speaker got the cone pushed in on it. And they're not necessarily the same size, but you try to make the power arrangements for each of them work. And you still end up with basic, pretty good stereo sound, right, at home, right, on the receiver, stuff like that. So that's basically it. I'm not saying he did that. I'm just saying, right, like if you end up with a bunch of different components, you don't always end up with the exact same size of speaker. So that's that. And that also answers this other guy was asking about my family. That was basically it, right? And so now that I'm on disability or whatever, I have a little bit more relaxed schedule. I do a lot of the viewing here. But like I said, right, I don't have expendable income. I can't really just go buy gas. I can't buy a car. I can't access credit. All this stuff that I used to go through basically gets turned down now. So, it's sort of money each week and try to spend what I have. But since I moved here, like I said, adding to my stress a couple weeks ago, I went into the hospital. Right, I had much less, 2/3 less or 40% less or whatever. So that made it a lot more difficult. So anyway, I'm gonna go to, I wanted to show you, this is actually a woman, which is actually really good. She published this about a year ago, and these are the dolls. This is what we do.
When you put these in cold water, they expose lingerie. Now, these toys, if you're not very familiar, they came out in 2016. And they've become very popular. I have a niece that's 6 years old, and she plays with them all the time. She had a bunch more, but I heard that she traded them in for other toys. But anyway, these little babies supposedly expose their lingerie when you take off their clothes, and you put them in cold water. So I have a bowl here of ice water, and I have these two that I borrowed from my sister. And I want to test it out and see if it's really true. If you're interested in knowing if there's lingerie under these little LOL dolls, just keep watching. First of all, I wanted to talk about their outfits. This one looks pretty normal, right? She's wearing a little crop top with a little skirt with bows on it. And of course it's open here because it has to detach. So I think she's pretty normal. But then this one, I mean, she's already looking a little sexy. Look at this backside.
So she's criticizing the doll's outlook.
So, let's test it out. I'm gonna take the little clothes off. Oh, she has a sign on her. Let's see what it says. Oh.
She has some type of music in the background, like the Twilight Zone or X-Files or something.
I'm sure we can put that back on before Haley sees. Yes. Okay, here she is. This child. Let me bring you a little bit closer to the bowl. Okay. Are we ready?
Wow, that's a fast change.
She's a diva.
That's good. That's
wow,
fast.
it's really true. Here she is.
Sometimes when we did it it would go that fast if we would put it in hot water and then put it in cold water.
And gloves.
If we put it right in cold water or put it in hot water, it didn't always go that fast. But if we went from cold to hot or hot to cold, it did that. Some of the dolls had a thing for cold, and some of them had a thing for hot water.
They were not like that before.
So anyway, that's enough. That's basically what my daughter would do. And I would give her the items. She'd say, I need a bowl with ice, or I need a bowl with hot water, and I want to play with my dolls. So I was like, all right. And then we watched movies and stuff, which you got to rent too, or you got to buy the DVDs. So now, back to what I was going to do before, which is go and see about new games on Stadia. So I loaded some new games. And are going to see which games I can play, if I can try a new game. I've had slower interaction with Stadia because, I don't know, it just is slower. It's 7 o'clock here. It has the temperature, the cloudiness, or the rain. Some of these games I can't actually play because they're so slow. You can't really interact with them. But I can try. So let's see. I'm not going to try to play any of these games. Let's try Trails of Cold Steel. Let's try Pac-Man. Mega Tunnel Battle. It's a newer game. It's an older game. But I'm just going to try it. Actually, I'm not going to try it. I'm going to go for this new 8-bit game they have. They have a new 8-bit game, and I thought I saved it. Can I save it? I don't think I have it. These are the other games I played. I bought some of them. Oh, they don't. I thought you gotta buy it. I thought you could get it on just 1 minute. These are some of the older games I saved. I thought there's this new game called like the Detective, and it's an 8-bit game. Okay, let's try this. Submerged. Let's try to see how Submerged is. See if I can get Submerged to play. Hidden Depths. It's a kid on a boat, a push boat, or a paddle boat. Push boat, I think. Okay, safety information, got it. Stadia Games Entertainment. All right. Now, Stadia went through the whole thing of not having their own games anymore. They stopped doing their own games. But this is a Stadia game, Games and Entertainment. Okay, press any button to start. Okay, adjust the slider. That's pretty good. New game. My brother and I were told stories of long ago, how the oceans rose and the mass came. The mass swallowed life and spat out copies. Submerged cities were filled with these hollow imitations. When we came to such a place, I was touched by the Mass. Instead of death, the Mass left me with a gift. I thought we could use my gift to help others. I could not know what it would cost us. Wow, it looks like a snake or slug type thing is growing up the building, taking it over. It's not entirely a push boat. It looks like he's got an engine on there too. Okay, so something just sort of spiraled out of her shoulder there. So it looks like there's some type of invasive species related to this game taking over. I thought it was just water, but there must be some type of species in the water that maybe cause the water to rise or take over their cities. You can see the propeller on the outboard motor there. A different type of outboard motor. This city is abandoned. The black plant is everywhere. Look around. All right. Oh, so this is a mouse. Uh-oh, wait, why do they have a mouse? Oh, look around. Oh, this is move around. Look around. Okay, so I got a little bit of a delay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So about 4 to 5 second delay on the button. So in 3 seconds it's going to turn and then it stops. So it's a little bit tough to use this device on this game. So I'm going to overrun stuff and probably have difficulty falling in the water. So I'm not really able to play this game like I would. I can try to jump. The jump. Oh, what's that? What's that arm movement there? So there is good graphics in this. You can see the flies around the torch and the heat vapors there. But I'm just in a little bit. It's same as sort of like playing Star Wars. I can't really get the functionality to work for what I would want. But it's pretty good. You move the character and you change the focus here. But see that's over. See, I'm gonna get going the wrong way, and I'll be frustrated. I don't want my character to go into the water. So I'm gonna have to end there. Let's see, how do I, oh here, I will take a photo though. And I'll do a little video. Oh. I'll just take that video and then I'll go back to that start screen and I will save and quit to menu. Oh, I overshot it. That's too bad. Save and quit game or... So save and quit game. So that's the best I can do with the controller, and I'm going to end there. All right. So my mom's making dinner. I'm going to go down and have dinner with my mom. Hope you're doing good. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.